Hey there, and welcome to Tucker's Test Kitchen, here to ruin another classic American institution. McDonald's is undisputedly a staple of American cuisine. Sometimes you might luck out and get their freshest, crispiest chicken nugget, and sometimes, doesn't it just feel like the fries have been sitting out a little too long? But I think the most consistent component of McDonald's is the cheeseburger. It's what they've always been known for, and I mean, they're not bad. I think McDonald's has done a good job managing the expectations of their burgers.
But in recent news, they're taking steps to improve their ingredients. That's good to hear, but would improvements like that yield a better burger? Maybe, but it got me thinking, how far could you take it? Now granted, if you replaced every part of a McDonald's burger, it wouldn't be a McDonald's burger anymore. And if I wanted something of such high quality, I could blow my retirement fund at Five Guys. But what if you could take one part of their burger and gourmet the absolute shit out of it? Which upgraded part would yield the best burger?
For our base burger of Theseus, we're going to use McDonald's Triple Cheeseburger. If you're a fan of the Big Mac but you don't care for its price, this is an amazing alternative and has become my golden arch sandwich of choice. We are going to upgrade the principal components of this burger one at a time. The bun, the cheese, the meat, and then everything else. And then we will compare them based on the relative improvement over the original against the cost it took to implement it to arrive at a final value score. We'll talk about that in a little bit. For our burger patty, I'm going to follow the burger I found on an old internet Shaquille video. What makes this burger so incredible is that you're basically reintroducing a grain into your meat that you bite parallel to, so it's crazy tender. I'll summarize the process here. You need 80-20 ground beef that's all ground in the same way. Bundle it up into a tube so the noodles of meat are parallel, sous vide, and then when you're ready to eat it, cut off a burger-sized slice and give it a quick sear. That's all there is to it. This treatment is tender and juicy, but all things considered, it isn't that hard to implement. And I think it can be done on a mass production scale. By volume, the biggest component is usually the bun, and since this is kinda sorta science, I figure I should share my hypothesis for what will improve the burger the most. I think it's the bun. I was gonna make my own buns for this experiment, but then I realized that the spirit of the whole shebang was to do things that McDonald's could theoretically do, so I got some really good and recently baked buns from my local grocer and froze them, since that's likely how they'd be shipped to McDonald's. For the cheese, I tested several kinds on the original burger and found that our dearly departed friend Jimmy Buffett was onto something. Munster was subjectively the best, even better than American cheese, so we'll be using that. For the everything else, I'm going to be using regular ketchup and mustard, but I will be upgrading the onion to an onion that was never dehydrated and a pickle variety that has a name. Now, with those modifications complete, let's talk about our testing methodology. I'm having some friends come over to taste and score these burger variations. Unfortunately, and obviously, taste is subjective. But you know what's even more subjective? Value. Strap in, folks. I know you thought you were here for a cooking video. What fools. I've got you now.
Digital burger matrix is one of my favorite series of words.
Should a Big Mac be my center point, or should I make double?
Give me the rundown on the burger matrix.
Right. It seems like everyone and their mother has their take on a burger, whether they're cobbling together classic ingredients for the classic tomato, lettuce, cheese build, or maybe they're adding aioli, whatever that is, or maybe they're trying to really knock you out of the park with something crazy like Jack Daniel's infused barbecue sauce, goat cheese, and caramelized onions. Everyone has a burger. I'm going to guess that it's not just me who's had a disappointing experience with a hamburger in a place that you would think would have a good burger. It's not so much if the burger is good, but it's about if it's worth it. And I think a burger being worth it is tied to both the quality and what you pay for it. And so, I brought the subjective act of enjoying a burger and made this subjective ranking process. Deep down, you know what you like about a burger and you know what you would pay for certain levels of quality. And so, the burger matrix is born. The burger matrix is a two-dimensional space where you can place points providing a relative ranking of burgers in a way that doesn't get muddled with trying to objectively rank things in a finite 1 to 10 scale. You won't find a single number on this matrix. It's just how you feel. Constructing a burger matrix is a two-step process. Step 1, think of an average burger that you think is an average value. For me, it's a medium number 1 at McDonald's. This is the only absolute point we need on the matrix. We need an origin to start comparing things to. Step 2 is to eat a burger and plot it on the matrix. And then you repeat step 2 forever and ever. As you start to add points to this matrix, you'll find that it's very easy to rank burgers better or worse than one another in these two simple yet very subjective measures. I'll give you some examples. In Chicago, we have a place called Red Hot Ranch. It's really tasty, comes with fries and a drink, and it's not horribly priced either, making a good burger for a good value. At the direct opposite end of the spectrum, we have places like The Gauge, a fancy restaurant on Michigan Avenue with dry burgers that just aren't that good for $16. I rip on Five Guys a lot because their burgers are hilariously overpriced. But they are really tasty burgers. The toppings come free, and when you order their fries, yeah, they're pricey, but they give you a disgusting amount of fries to make you feel like it was justified. That obscures their value proposition to the point that you'd be forgiven for forgetting that you can get a same quality burger elsewhere for less and have it come with an appropriate amount of fries despite what the outdated laminated self-relating clippings and quotes on the wall would have you believe. Here, we rank high on the quality scale, but low on the value scale. Now, the most controversial thing I've brought up to this point is likely the fact that I sometimes include fries in the burger matrix. And I mean, that's okay, you don't have to. I only include fries so places that charge $5 for fries separate from the meal can be held responsible to the matrix because, what, am I not gonna have fries and a drink with my meal? Yeah, screw it, include the drink. You eventually end up with this gradient of burger worth, which, while not having an objective score, is certainly useful for making your burger decisions. And with so many burgers and so little time, don't you think it's important just to focus on the good ones?
Okay, so this is the original triple cheeseburger. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, take in the essence.
This is such a big burger.
So take a bite.
All right. That's a burger.
Notice the cheese, the meats, the bread, everything.
I mean, I think it's the cheese, but it barely even looks like those are separate.
That's what I was thinking too. They've really it looks like one burger.
I also didn't get any pickle.
They forgot the pickle.
I feel centered.
You feel perfect. So in the burger matrix, that is your center point. This is the only absolute point of reference you need in the burger matrix.
If I'm imagining you, spoilers.
Yeah.
You got a new patty, and I think that it just doesn't make a difference at all.
Right.
Then that would be low value, center quality.
Yes.
Burger number 2!
When I have made burgers, I just make a smash burger, and there's only one way to cook it.
So yeah, the only thing that's changed here is the burger.
Yeah, very tender.
Holy crap. You can even see the
noodles.
the noodles.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I got a pickle on this one.
This is serious business. I can't just be. You should have had a bucket for us to spit the burger into.
I don't think the rest of it matches the patty. Your patty is too good for the condiments and the bun. The bun is
Or the burger is too good.
yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay, and what do you think took away from it most?
It's just like,
The bun.
yeah,
It
just
wasn't
like
big enough.
Keep in mind that this burger would probably be more expensive than the baseline, but not by much, because I think this can be mechanized. It's a tube of meat, sous vide. It would get seared at the restaurant. It would come frozen. I haven't tested if it would work from frozen, but I think it will. Maybe $1 more for this burger than your baseline.
I've got to admit, Tucker, that seems optimistic.
$1, $2, just know it will be more because it is better. Not necessarily because it's more difficult to produce. The double quarter pounder probably isn't harder for them to produce, but you pay a premium because it is perceived as better quality. Whether it is or not is completely subjective. Well, then why don't we try the bun next, since it's on everyone's mind?
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Anybody want a pickle? It's a palate cleanser. See, I think we're gonna have the opposite problem here. The bun is gonna be too good for the insides.
I think it already looks really good.
I got 2 pickles. How many pickles do you get?
I don't think I've got a single pickle.
Aw. I like this. I think it was, if you hadn't seared the bun,
Yeah.
you would have lost. Because it has a nice crisp bun inside. That really goes well. It also creates a different, it adds to the taste.
I can tell that that's bread.
Yeah.
And with the last one, it was not clear to me that that was bread.
This is not gonna add much more money.
No, I'm gonna say the bun maybe adds another 50 cents. These are just food store. I assume they bake them there or they bake them real nearby.
Can I feel one? Yeah, they feel like they've been frozen.
Yeah, you can compare it to
Oh yeah, similar though.
What are the units?
completely relative.
I just like the idea of metric or English burger quality.
What's next? What are the options?
Cheese and condiments.
Cheese.
Cheese. Oh, I got a pickle.
I'm so happy for you. It doesn't feel any different. I mean, if you just eat it like this, it's a very strange consistency.
It was fine. It was a little bit of a letdown.
I like it. I think I like cheddar better on my burgers. It's interesting to me, why didn't you use cheddar?
Because the burger patty itself was already so dry. And cheese, you kind of have to rely on the cheese a little bit to rehydrate it. I mean, I don't know how I feel about Kraft singles, but I'm a Velveeta guy. And,
Could have bought the log of Velveeta. It doesn't have to be refrigerated
I used to eat that.
until after.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me. Until after you open it. I don't know where this one goes. Because it didn't really impress me. It didn't really feel any different. I would say if you're going to charge me more dollars for it,
About 50 cents.
it sits in the lesser value. It's not worth the value.
This is the least important, but like I still take issue with your suggestion that if they started sous videing meat, it would only be $2.
I picture big, like a very shallow swimming pool that's just deep enough to accommodate the logs of meat.
Have you ever been in the back of a McDonald's? Because I worked
No,
there
this
in
would be
high
happening
school.
at the factory they come from.
Oh.
Right. It would be like a serpentine thing that they hang the bags on, and it would drag it through the water as the water was hot enough to cook it. And then it would get to the end, they would freeze it and ship it.
This is more of a Wendy's thing. Because fresh, never frozen. Do you believe that? Is it a farce of you?
Are you gonna get sued? You put that in your feed. Do you need to talk to a lawyer now?
It's the tall pickle time.
I'm ready. I like a pickle.
It's like pickle ruffles. They're ridged.
So this says Vlasic hamburger pickles,
And an actual volume of onion.
an actual volume of onion. So it's nice because the pickle has a name and the onion has a name. It's Sweet Vidalia.
What do you mean it has a name?
Like, do you know what kind of onions they use on McDonald's burgers?
Rehydrated.
I'm still confused. They don't have a name? What are you
What
saying?
brand of onion? It really just says dehydrated onion. Who's telling me how's the problem? The condiments are too big for the tiny bun.
I love pickles and I love onions, so that did good things for me.
You were very quick to rate that. Really high, even. I think the onion went really well. I tasted the pickle at the end. I liked that when I bit into it, it wasn't soft, and the ridges kept it from sliding. I was right about that, and I'm really excited about that fact. Yes. Oh. Sorry.
It wasn't as good as the brioche, so maybe I need to rate the brioche higher. I mean, I didn't think it added a lot of quality. I don't think the onion was oniony enough.
One other thing I think that would be very good is if you did a wine pairing video.
Yes, a
Fish.
nice dry white with the filet fish.
The McRib.
Oh, yeah, that's back.
This is the last burger, right?
Yes.
I'm done.
Okay, so this is with everything replaced from everything you've eaten. All right, gang, what do we think?
It's missing something. Could be missing the orange cheese, because it just like, just didn't really like melt.
I'm thinking I don't feel sad after I ate it.
This is such a great thing to hear as a chef. What is your takeaway from all of this? If there was one thing that they could upgrade on the burger to make it better,
The bun.
your bun.
I would say it's a close to me between bun and condiments. Because I mean, you looked under those. There was no onion there.
No,
There was no onion there. There was like a little.
It is good.
They had like a little bit, and I love some onion.
On my matrix, it's basically anything but cheese. The cheese was kind of a letdown, and I know that if they're like, "Ooh, we have Munster now," I'd be like, "That's a gimmick."
As you had said, like I'm getting fatigued. I'm like this is getting worse and worse the further I go.
No more.
So what did we learn today? Well, we learned that I can make a burger better than McDonald's. Thank goodness. But more than that, I think we learned that you cannot improve a single component of a burger in isolation without making the rest of the burger pale in comparison. And there are things you can do to a McDonald's burger to make it better. Yeah, duh, of course there are, but I hope the biggest takeaway you have from this video is the burger matrix and how flexible this idea is to other consumables. The idea of brand loyalty only makes sense if the brand is worth being loyal to. Which reminds me, you subscribed, right?